Been to one of the most overlooked bars on 616 in LA that's actually way deeper than people realize. We talking about the forced opinions is not convincing, y'all need a new route.
Forced opinions is not convincing, y'all need a new route.
Now he said y'all need a new route, like a router? Come on, bro.
Now on the surface, this might seem like just another throwaway line, but when you really break it down, this is Kendrick exposing the entire media manipulation game that's been protecting Drake for years. Forced opinions, that's opinions that are manufactured, not genuine. People saying what they're paid or pressured to say. Not authentic reactions, scripted responses. Not convincing means the fakeness is obvious. People can see through it. Y'all need a new route. This strategy isn't working. Find a different approach. This is a direct call out. Your media manipulation is transparent. Now who is this about? Primary target, DJ Academics, Drake's unofficial media spokesperson. But it also applies to anyone in Drake's media ecosystem. OVO affiliates who always defend Drake regardless of facts. Influencers and content creators on Drake's payroll, direct or indirect. Yes men who can't have opinions outside what Drake allows. Creates echo chamber where Drake only hears what he wants to hear. Why this matters in hip-hop culture is crucial, fam. Hip-hop values authenticity above almost everything. Having genuine opinions, keeping it real, saying what you actually think. Yes men culture is seen as weakness. Real leaders want people who tell them the truth, not what they want to hear. Right. If everyone around you always agrees, you're living in delusion. Right. Kendrick suggesting Drake surrounded by people who lied to him for money and access. Now let me take y'all back to August 2021 when this all really started. Kendrick and Baby Keem dropped Family Ties, and Kendrick's verse includes "Smoking on your top 5 tonight." This was Kendrick declaring himself better than everyone's top 5 list. Challenge to the entire rap game, not just Drake specifically. But Drake took it personal, as he should, because he's usually in top 5 list. This set the stage for tension that would explode in 2024. After Family Ties dropped, Academics had a wild response. On his stream, he stated his top 5 list includes solely Drake. Not Drake plus 4 others, just Drake 5 times. That's not a top 5, that's obsession. My top 5, Drake.
What top 5 you smoking on, Kendrick? Cause my top 5 is Drake.
And Drake. This became a meme immediately. People clowned him relentlessly. Then he proceeded to literally fall asleep on stream while listening to CLB. Drake's Certified Lover Boy album playing, Act snoring on camera. The optics were terrible. Even Drake fans were embarrassed. How you gonna claim someone's your number 1 through 5, then fall asleep to their music? This moment perfectly illustrated forced opinions. No credible journalist would say one artist is their entire top 5. That's not analysis, that's worship. That's not keeping it real, that's performance for access and money. The falling asleep contradicted the praise, proved it wasn't genuine. If you really thought Drake was that incredible, you'd stay engaged. Instead, Ack was so bored, he fell asleep. But publicly, he had to maintain the narrative. This is what Kendrick means by forced opinions, saying what you're supposed to say versus what you actually feel. The mask slipped and everyone saw it. When Drake dropped his diss tracks, Academics went crazy. Heaped excessive praise on push-ups, acting like it was game over. Called Tailor-Made Freestyle genius despite the AI pack controversy. Acted like Drake had already won before Kendrick even responded. This is the yes man energy, automatic support regardless of quality. When Rick Ross dropped Champagne Moments dissing Drake, Academics said Drake shouldn't respond, beneath him. Dismissed Ross's credibility and impact. Any shot at Drake gets minimized or explained away. Any shot from Drake gets maximized and celebrated. This isn't journalism, it's public relations. Act functioning as Drake's unpaid, or maybe paid, PR team. But here's where it gets really interesting. When Kendrick's Euphoria first dropped, Act's initial reaction was amazed. You could see it on his face. He knew it was devastating. The 6-minute systematic dismantling of Drake shook him, but then something changed. His tune shifted from impressed to dismissive, started downplaying the impact, finding things to criticize. Went from "this is crazy" to "it's not that good actually." Tweeted takes that contradicted his initial gut reaction. This is forced opinion in real time. His authentic response was shock, but he had to manufacture a different take. This shows Academics can't maintain authenticity even when he wants to. His initial reactions are sometimes genuine, but then the pressure, internal or external, makes him change stance. Has to align with Drake's interests regardless of truth. This is what Kendrick is calling out. The forced opinion.
Most Grammy nominations for a rapper in a year.
You made history already. Appreciate that. Thank you. Michael Jackson holds the record with 12.
The forced opinions is not convincing. We saw you flip-flop. We saw your real reaction before you corrected yourself. Can't unsee that contradiction. Now let me connect this to something much deeper. Drake has positioned himself as Michael Jackson's heir throughout his career. Wore MJ's iconic white glove in first-person shooter video, mimicked MJ's dance moves in Way Too Sexy video, constantly references MJ, compares their success. On First Person Shooter, as he approached MJ's Billboard record, niggas talking about when this gonna be repeated. What the fuck, bro? I'm one away from Michael. Nigga beat it, what?
Michael Jackson holds the record with 12 nominations.
Yeah.
You almost had the same amount of nominations as Michael Jackson for Thriller.
The legend. I wouldn't want to go past that, though.
Niggas talking about when this gonna be repeated. What the
No.
No.
But what if you had 13?
No.
bro, I'm one away from
I take back. I can't fathom being as great as Michael
nigga.
without putting out the work. So, you know, he's the legendary. I'm glad it's at
What?
Yeah.
What happens? Say you do get 13. Kendrick, let's think about this. I mean, it almost happened. I mean, then what do you have to do? You just gotta
I don't know.
leave the country. You gotta do something else. Yeah.
Beat It reference to MJ's famous song. Drake celebrating tying and beating MJ's chart record, positioning himself as the modern MJ. The reverence is deep, not just respect, but identification. On Like That, in March 2024, Kendrick already brought up MJ. Nigga, Prince outlived Mike Jack, positioning himself as Prince to Drake's Michael. This is crucial because Prince and MJ were rivals and contemporaries. Prince was seen as more artistically pure. MJ was more commercial, more mainstream. Prince maintained creative control. MJ had industry complications. And most importantly, Prince outlived Michael. This was foreshadowing of what Kendrick would say on 616 in LA, already planting seeds. You identify with MJ? That's not good for you. Now here's where this gets dark, fam, and I need y'all to understand the weight of what I'm about to tell you. Michael Jackson's death was ruled homicide by the LA County coroner. They found a lethal mix of lorazepam and propofol in his system. Dr. Conrad Murray, MJ's personal doctor, was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Murray was part of MJ's inner circle, trusted team. Someone close to Michael contributed to his death. Whether intentional or negligent, the betrayal was from within. This is the parallel Kendrick is drawing. Drake surrounds himself with yes men and questionable people. Drake's personal doctor equivalent could be the people on his payroll. The forced opinions, the fake support, the compromised team. Kendrick predicting this will end badly for you like it did for MJ. The closing line of 616 in LA, asking what Mike would do.
It's time that you look around on who's around you. Before you figure that you're not alone, ask what Mike would do.
No, he ain't just leave this nigga like that.
That was short and sweet, wasn't it?
This beat is hard, bro.
I love that sample.
Before you figure out who the fuck is the weakest link around, ask what would Michael do.
That's tough. That's a good bar.
He's still flipping the whole Michael Jackson reference that Drake used.
Michael Jackson has a song called You Are Not Alone.
You are not
Alone. Hey. This is a softer jab to me than Euphoria.
Euphoria was tough. Euphoria was very tough. This I wasn't really feeling.
Because this one's like less of a diss track. It's almost like a personal message to Drake. Like,
This is basically like a warning shot right here.
This is definitely Kendrick poking the bear now. Like, you know what? You want to fucking play?
I feel like this nigga could have went crazier though, bro. He could have really chopped this nigga head off, and I feel like he still is going to at a certain point.
It feels like there's more after this. Like he dropped it a little bit later, just when he knew Drake would be back in the studio.
I like this whole approach by Kendrick. Yo, I'm gonna basically give you some riddles to figure out how I'm getting all the info about you. You got snakes around you and everybody's using you.
You got some snakes in your camp.
You gotta figure out who it is, gang.
It's about to get ugly, bro.
Shit about to get messy, dog.
Yeah, it's finna get crazy.
Can't Tootsie slide your way out of this one, Drake. This shit is getting serious, nigga.
How do you respond to this?
You better drop the best diss track of all time, bro.
Clock tickets, ladies and gentlemen. What your buddy Axe say? You on the clock, champ. We waiting.
Bro, don't ever diss Kendrick. If you be a rapper, do not diss Kendrick, okay?
Multiple layers to this reference. You Are Not Alone by Michael Jackson, famous MJ single about loneliness despite fame. Drake surrounded by people but truly alone because none are genuine. Ironic, song title says not alone, but Kendrick saying Drake is alone. But here's the really dark part. R. Kelly wrote You Are Not Alone. R. Kelly now convicted of sexual abuse of minors. doubling down on allegations about Drake's relationships with young women. The reference to R. Kelly is intentional and damning, connecting Drake to another problematic figure. Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, introspective MJ track about self-reflection and change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Kendrick suggesting Drake needs to look at himself. All the problems Drake faces start with his own choices. And what would Jesus do? Dash common Christian phrase about moral decision making. What Mike would do mirrors this structure. Suggest Drake worships MJ instead of God. False idol worship, putting celebrity above spirituality. Drake's lack of spiritual grounding, no moral compass. Worships fame, success, material things instead of higher values. Kendrick isn't just saying you're like MJ. He's saying you're going to end like MJ. Michael Jackson died because of people in his inner circle. Died surrounded by employees and yes men. No one telling him the truth about his health, his choices. Everyone enabling destructive behavior for their own benefit. Dr. Murray gave MJ what he wanted, drugs for sleep, instead of what he needed, intervention. That's what yes men do. They facilitate rather than challenge. Right. Kendrick warning, your yes men will destroy you too. The forced opinions aren't just annoying, they're dangerous. When no one tells you the truth, you make fatal decisions. Ask what happened to Mike. He died because of his inner circle. He died because he was isolated despite being surrounded. He died because people valued their paychecks over his well-being. Kendrick predicting similar fate for Drake if he doesn't change. After spending entire track alleging moles and betrayal, after exposing forced opinions and fake support, after creating paranoia about Drake's inner circle, Kendrick ends with, "This is where it leads." Michael Jackson is the cautionary tale. Drake worships MJ, wants to be MJ, but MJ's story ended in tragedy because of his inner circle. Kendrick saying, you're following the same path. Your forced opinions, your yes men, your compromised team, they're not protecting you, they're destroying you. And unlike MJ, you can't even claim you didn't see it coming. I'm telling you explicitly what's happening. Hip-hop
12 nominations.
Yeah.
You almost had the same amount of nominations as Michael Jackson for Thriller.
The legend. I wouldn't want to go past that though.
No.
No.
But what if you had 13?
No. I take back. I can't fathom being as great as Michael without putting out the work. So 11 is perfect. You know, he's the legendary. I'm glad it's at
What
12.
happens? Say you do get 13. Kendrick, let's think about this.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost happened. I mean, then what do you have to do? You just gotta...
I don't know.
Yeah, you just gotta leave the country. You gotta do something else.
Of artists surrounded by vultures, from Biggie and Pac to countless others. People who benefit from your success, but don't care about your well-being. Keep your circle small is common wisdom in the culture. Drake's 100 people on salary violates this wisdom. Can't maintain authenticity with that many hands out. The MJ comparison works because everyone knows that story. Everyone understands the danger of yes men and enablers. Throughout this beef, Kendrick has spiritual and moral high ground, references to God, angels, spirituality, moral choices. Drake's position is lacking spiritual foundation, worshiping false idols, MJ, fame, money, success. What Mike would do versus what would Jesus do? Kendrick asking, who are you serving? What are your values? This elevates beef beyond just rap skills, makes it about character, soul, purpose. Drake's forced opinions and yes men are symptoms. The disease is lack of authentic, spiritual, and moral grounding. Without that foundation, everything else crumbles. It will crumble, just like it did for Mike. Now, we talked about how Kendrick referenced Michael Jackson's fate, but there's an even deeper layer to this MJ comparison. Because when Kendrick said Prince outlived Mike Jack on Like That, he wasn't just making a random observation about two legends. He was drawing a direct parallel between two rivalries. MJ versus Prince in the 80s and 90s, Drake versus Kendrick right now. And the similarities are crazy when you break them down. Hip-hop is always drawn from music history. The MJ and Prince rivalry is one of the most famous in music. Both were generational talents, both dominated their era, but they represented different values, different approaches. Sound familiar? That's Drake and Kendrick today. Kendrick deliberately positioning himself as Prince to Drake's MJ. Not random, this is strategic framing.
No, that's big facts. And this is the part in the breakdown where I actually give y'all my opinion on this. So make sure y'all drop a like, a hype, a comment, and subscribe. Because I had people say that YouTube unsubscribed them. So just check that button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Shout out my man Mike Drop TV. And y'all know me, it's your boy Jet Ski G. We back with another banger. Now, with this Prince, like, and I said this in one of my other uploads, where it's funny how Drake wanted to be MJ so bad, and his career is mirroring MJ. He's one hit away from actually surpassing MJ for the most Billboard Hot 100 entries ever, which is insane, which is a number we never thought was going to be passed. But he's on the precipice, the brink of actually passing it. And at the same time, he's on the precipice and on the brink of actually passing it, he's having allegations just like MJ did. Like, MJ was larger than life, and then MJ had all these weird allegations about sleeping with little kids at the Neverland Ranch, and all these lawsuits and stuff like that he had to deal with. And you would have the world kind of divided, like half the world saying he didn't do it and the other half of the world saying he did do it. But it was unanimous still that everybody loved Michael Jackson. We ain't gonna front on Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was that dude. You hear me? Like, that dude. And it's funny because you wanted to be like Mike so bad. Well, it's the other side of Michael Jackson. You experienced the fame, the fortune, the greatness for the last few. You literally, they position you to be to run hip hop. Leo Cohen, UMG, these guys positioned you for 15 years straight to be the leader in the hip hop. You get what I'm saying? You can debate if he actually was. I don't think he actually was the leader in hip hop, but he was positioned for that. Well, this is the flip side to that. This is the other side of what Michael went through. So if this is what you're conjuring up, this is the energy that you wanted your whole life. Well, this is the other side of that energy, where Michael went through tumultuous times. Michael lost his identity. There was a lot of jokes about Michael's nose. Now there's a lot of jokes about your abs. It's a lot of parallels between Michael and Drake that you can sit back and look at and be like, hold up, that's just like that. That's just like that. It's just like that. Well, you wanted to be just like him. And don't say, no, I don't want to be like him no more now that we on the other side of the coin. Let me know what y'all think about that. I find that very interesting, how he wanted to be like Mike so bad, and now he's on the precipice of actually passing Mike for a lot of records, and everything that was going on with Mike is now going on with Drake. It's very weird. It's very like ritualistic. It's very interesting. So y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that. It's your boy Jet Ski G. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all, you know I love y'all. Also, I'm gonna drop one more banger. I'm gonna drop a banger right here. This banger right here is gonna be about this new Drake UMG lawsuit and how it actually is going to destroy his career once and for all. I'm out, y'all. This was a good one.